The moment my brother's fist hit my face, I didn't just feel pain. I felt my entire past shatter. It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. White flowers, soft music, in a sky so clear it felt like even the universe was blessing me. I stood there in my wedding dress, my hands trembling slightly, not from fear, but from overwhelming emotion. I had waited for this moment for years. My name is Aisha, and for most of my life, I believed in one thing more than anything else: family. Especially my brother, Hamza. Growing up, he was my protector, the one who walked me to school, who stood up for me when others didn't, even when life got hard. I always told myself, at least I have my brother. But what I didn't know that day was that the same person I trusted the most would be the one to destroy me in front of everyone. The ceremony had just begun. Guests were smiling, cameras flashing, and I could see my husband, Daniel, standing at the altar, calm, proud, and looking at me like I was his entire world. Daniel wasn't just a good man. He was a pilot, disciplined, composed, and someone who carried a quiet strength that made you feel safe without even trying. Everything felt perfect until I saw Hamza walking toward me. At first, I thought, maybe he was emotional. Maybe he just wanted to say something before I officially started my new life. But there was something in his eyes, something dark, something I had never seen before. He came closer, and then, without a word, he punched me, right there, in my wedding dress, in front of everyone. Gasps filled the air. Someone screamed. I stumbled, my vision blurring, my heart racing as I tried to understand what was happening. And then I heard his voice. Cold, bitter, unrecognizable. You deserve this. In that moment, I wasn't just hurt, I was broken. I remember the silence that followed. It was louder than anything I had ever heard. Guests stood frozen. My parents rushed forward, panic written all over their faces. Someone tried to hold Hamza back, but he didn't even resist. He just stood there, staring at me like I was a stranger, like I was his enemy. I touched my cheek. It was burning. But the real pain wasn't physical. It was the realization that I had no idea who my brother had become. Why? I whispered, my voice shaking. But he didn't answer me. Instead, he laughed, a quiet, bitter laugh that sent chills down my spine. You think you can just walk away? After everything, he said. I felt confused, lost. Hamza, I don't understand. But before I could say anything else, he turned to the crowd. She betrayed this family, he announced. She thinks marrying him will erase everything. My heart dropped. Betrayed. What was he talking about? And then it hit me. Months ago, I had made a decision, a difficult one. I had refused to give Hamza money, a large amount he claimed he needed for a business. But I knew the truth. I had seen the signs, the late nights, the suspicious friends, the way he avoided every serious conversation. I didn't want to support something that could destroy him, so I said no. And from that moment, he changed. He stopped talking to me, stopped coming home, and when he did, his eyes carried that same darkness I saw now. But I never thought it would lead to this. This is about money, I said, my voice trembling. You did this because I didn't give you money? It's not about money, he shouted. It's about respect. You chose him over your own blood. Tears filled my eyes. I chose what was right, I whispered. But he didn't care. In his mind, I had already become the villain. The guests started whispering. The atmosphere turned heavy, uncomfortable. My wedding, my dream, was falling apart right in front of me, and in that moment, I felt small, weak, alone. But then, I felt a hand gently hold mine. It was Daniel. He stepped forward, his presence calm but powerful. He looked at me first, not at the crowd, not at Hamza, just me. And in his eyes, I saw something I desperately needed in that moment. Strength. It's okay, he said softly. And for the first time since everything happened, I felt like I could breathe again. But what I didn't know was that Daniel wasn't just going to comfort me. He was about to change everything. Daniel turned to Hamza. The entire crowd went silent again. There was no anger on his face, no shouting, no chaos. Just calm, controlled, powerful calm. You're her brother, Daniel said, his voice steady. Which is why I'm choosing to speak, not react. Hamza scoffed. You think you're better than me? Daniel didn't flinch. No, he replied. But I know one thing for sure. She deserved protection today, not pain. Those words hit harder than any punch. Even Hamza went quiet for a second. Daniel stepped closer, standing between me and him, not aggressively, but protectively. You say she betrayed you, Daniel continued. But from what I see, she refused to support something that could destroy you. That's not betrayal. That's courage. I felt tears roll down my face. Because in that moment, someone finally understood me. Hamza's expression started to crack. His anger, slowly turning into something else. Something weaker. You don't get it, he muttered. No, Daniel said calmly. I do. I've seen people lose themselves. I've seen what happens when no one stops them. He paused. But she tried to stop you. Silence. Heavy reel. And then Daniel did something no one expected. He turned to the guests. This wedding isn't over, he said. And then he looked back at me. But only if you still want it. In that moment, I had a choice. To walk away. To let this pain define my day. Or to stand up and take my life back. I took a deep breath. And I nodded. Yes, I said softly. I still want this. Daniel smiled, not a big smile, but a real one. And just like that, the ceremony continued. Not perfectly, not like a fairy tale, but stronger, real. As for Hamza, he didn't say another word. He just walked away. And for the first time in my life, I didn't run after him. Because I finally understood something. Not all love is healthy. Not all family is right. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is let go. That day, I didn't just become a wife. I became someone who chose peace over pain. And as I stood there, holding Daniel's hand, I realized something simple but powerful. Respect isn't demanded. It's earned through love, truth, and courage. And sometimes, the people who try to break you only end up revealing your strength.